GMO a go-go.
Hey kid, what's up? Do you hate having to eat those healthy vegetables? Is nutrition getting you down? Well, cheer up! Help's on the way. Say hello to GMO, genetically modified organisms. You can eat them all day. Not only will mealtimes be extra delicious, they'll also contain oodles and oodles of insect genes and fish genes. Just think of all that extra yummy goodness. But that's not all. We're irradiating everything you eat, so you'll never have to absorb a single nasty nutrient ever again. And don't forget about pesticides, plenty of those. Yes, sir. Like to know more? Well, let's take a look. Corn is a staple food used in many, many ways throughout the food industry. Growing it takes time, money, and lots of pesticides to protect the crops from bugs, vermin, and fungus. Now, some people think that pesticides made by big biotechs are harmful for humans, animals, and the environment, but that's okay. We've solved that problem. Our GM scientists are putting the pesticide right inside the crops. That's right. Isn't that amazing? The food itself will kill those pesky critters stone cold dead. Now, some people are worried about the bees dying off. Busy bees pollinate billions of dollars worth of crops, vegetables, fruit, flowers, you name it. But some insects are just plain greedy. They'll eat everything in sight if you don't watch out. GMO to the rescue! Thanks to genetic engineering, the plant produces a toxin from the newly inserted bacterium gene. The toxin kills insects, but not humans. The Bacillus thuringiensis toxin destroys the insects' stomachs. Ouch. We have absolutely no testing results to prove that these are safe, but they are. Trust us. We care. And because the pesticides are already growing right inside the crop, GM plants can withstand more weed killer than the old-fashioned organic crops. No weeds, no bugs. More food, more profit. What's not to like?
Peace and love, fam. This is Moreno Bey. Back again, to drop that knowledge, drop this science. Today episode, I'll be speaking about things we should place in our bodies and things we shouldn't place in our bodies. But the main topic today is like GMOs. We all know that stands for genetically modified organisms. And what led me to do this video is one day I was at work and I was just sitting down chilling, in the break room, just relaxing a little bit. And at that particular time, I was the only one in there. And I noticed it was like something out of my peripheral. I could see it like laying on the table. And, I'm just chilling again, just relaxing. And I'm continuously seeing something out of my peripheral or my side view. So I said, let me look to the side and see what this is. So when I looked, I saw that it was a bag of chips, right? So, like I said, I was in there by myself. I didn't really have anything to do. So I just grabbed the bag of chips, just started reading the ingredients and things on it, and I ran up on something that kind of caught my eye. It really did catch my eye. So I actually saved the bag, and before I brought it to the house, I bleached it down. I put it in an airtight seal, and I made sure I prayed over it, because I really didn't want anyone around me. But I got to show y'all, because I've never seen anything like this on a bag of chips or anything. So it just further lets me know that they put things right in our face, but since we don't read, hey, how will we know, right? So I'm gonna get the bag of chips, and again, I was sitting there reading it, and I read the nutrition facts. I'll just start at the top, I'll graze through it. I won't, be all day. I'll just kind of graze through it. At the very top of this Doritos bag, it says guaranteed fresh. It says nutrition facts. Calories 150. Total fat 8 grams, 12%. Cholesterol 0. Sodium, of course, that's salt, 8%. Total carbohydrates 18 grams. Dietary fiber 2 grams, which is 6%. Sugars less than 1 gram. Protein, etc., etc., right? So when I got to the ingredients, of course, you know, they have all of these scientific, big ass scientific words, right? You know, that the average human being cannot pronounce when, you know, first seeing it, right? So I looked at the ingredients. Now I'm gonna read the ingredients. I'm gonna graze through it real fast. Now check this out. It says corn, vegetable oil, corn canola, sunflower oil, maltodextrin, made from corn, salt, tomato powder, cornstarch, lactose, whey, skim milk, monosodium, glutamate, cheddar cheese, milk cheese cultures, salt, enzymes, dextrose. Okay, and I see sodium acetate, artificial color, including red 40, blue 1, yellow 5, sodium caseinate, spice, citric acid, the sodium isonite. What the heck? Come on now. All right. Just, okay, come on. All right, and then let me get to the good part. Now, as I'm sitting around just chilling out, like I said, in the break room, just relaxing. I'm the only one in there, you know. And I get to the very bottom where it says Frito-Lay Incorporated. It has their mailing location. And then it says produced with, and I'll let you guys see it. Hopefully y'all can see that. Produced with genetic engineering. I see that. I've never seen that on a bag of chips. So I'll make sure I burn this and take the ashes to the Mississippi River and make sure one of the biggest catfish eat it, so it can never be in my existence ever again. But anyway, that's what made me led me to do this video, right? So as a young age, I can remember a young man, you know, my granddad grew up as a vegetarian. He rode a bike to work. It wasn't that he couldn't afford an automobile. Actually, he had an automobile, but he rode a bike to work. He exercised all the time. So I got a lot of those attributes from my mom's side of the family in regards to eating, exercising, and just being aware of our bodies, you know. So again, my granddad was a vegetarian. Growing up with my mom was, she would cook meat, things of that nature, but it wasn't a lot of it. And when she cooked meat, it was lean meat. It probably was roasted or baked or something of that nature. Fish, you know, chicken, of course, things of that nature. I can remember at times we would eat steak and stuff, you know, stuff like that, you know. But long story short, I've been away from those things for many years now. And this video is going to go into what are GMOs and genetic engineering. You know, that now you guys saw that was on the bag. It was printed on the bag. Genetic engineering, that's what it was produced with. So first what we'll do is we'll go into the word genetic, and I like to go into this dictionary right here. I don't know if you can see it. It says the American College Dictionary. It's a good etymological dictionary. And I'm going to go into the word genetic because, I mean, let's just get an idea of what genetics are, okay? Okay, it says genetics. It says the science of heredity, dealing with resemblances and differences of related organisms flowing from the interaction of their genes and their environment. Okay, that's kind of freaky, you know. That's kind of, you know, I mean, if you really look into the genes, hereditary, I mean, when you hear words like that, you think of like people, or you think of animals, you know, you're thinking of spliced genes, cloning type of stuff, right? So with that printed bag, it's proof that they place it right in your face and say, hey, this is what we do, you know? So they're not even hiding it from you. Again, I'll show you again. Produced with genetic engineering, right here. Produced with genetic engineering, okay? So what are we putting in our bodies, people? Okay? Another thing, before I get into GMOs, as far as going into, you know, simple definitions, and I'll tell you a brief little story. I can remember about 5 years ago when I went cold turkey. I just stopped. Like, we were doing a blog talk show. I guess it was about 5 years ago. We were doing I'll just say we were doing like a conference call. And it was about 10 of us on that conference call. There was a sister from Nigeria. There was a brother from Texas territory, myself, some brothers from Connecticut, sisters from California. We were all just building. But at that time, we were building on like eating. And at that time, I was still eating like chicken, guess a little fish, stuff like that, you know. And I can remember the sister was just so adamant about why we shouldn't eat meat, you know. And I listened to her, and she was like, I can make the best veggie burger, homemade veggie burger. I mean, it was just like, you would love it. You know, she was talking to another brother, and he was just like, man, I got to eat some real, you know, meat. And I was listening to her, you know, this was the sister from Nigeria. And she was like, why would you want to eat meat, or why would you do this? And I listened to it for the longest, and I was like, you know what, this makes sense. So when we got off of that conference call, I went right into the kitchen, and it was just on me to just stop. So I really didn't have any good direction as to how and you know, like what. I just stopped, you know. I just stopped. Like, I took everything that I didn't want, and I just did not eat it. I took everything out of the refrigerator, and I went to the grocery store and bought nothing but veggies and fruits. I'm talking about straight up. And when I did that, I also did a herbal detox. And it's like, man, I'm talking about like my system. I just cleared my entire system out. It's like my skin was glowing, my hair, everything about my whole persona. I just had a glow about myself, you know, and that attracted me to be around, you know, people that ate the way I wanted to eat, you know. So again, I went straight veggies and fruit, raw. I wasn't cooking anything. It was just straight raw vegetables and fruit. That's what I did. I lost a lot of weight. I mean, I've always been pretty slim anyway, but I lost a lot of weight like instantly, you know. And I thought for the longest that you're supposed to have a full feeling when you eat. And I kind of struggled, even though I didn't cheat. I didn't start, you know, back eating meat, but I thought you're supposed to have a full feeling. And actually, you don't supposed to have a full feeling, you know, period. You know, so that's false. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to that. Let's go back. Let's go to what is GMO. I'm on, like I said, I'm gonna do simple research just to get your mind, you know, thinking, you know, just to elevate your mind. So right now I'm on the non-GMOproject.org site, and it starts off, what is a GMO? Okay? We spoke about it. Now let's kind of go into it a little bit. What is a GMO? A GMO, or genetically modified organism, is a plant, animal, microorganism, or other organism whose genetic makeup has been modified. Now we know modify means to change or alter, using recombinant DNA methods. DNA methods, also called gene splicing, gene modification, or transgenic technology. This relatively new science creates unstable combinations of plant, animal, bacterial, and viral genes that do not occur in nature or through traditional crossbreeding methods. Genetic modification affects many of the products we consume on a daily basis. As the number of GMOs available for commercial use grows every year, the Non-GMO Project works diligently to provide the most accurate, up-to-date standards for non-GMO verification. In order for a product to be non-GMO product verified, its inputs must be evaluated for compliance with our standard, which categorizes inputs into 3 risk levels. And then it goes into the high risk, low risk, and non-risk. Again, people, what are we putting in our bodies? Now, most of us as Asiatic people in North America, we've come up on fried foods, pork, extreme amounts of sugar, salt. That's why we lead the nation in high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, kidney failure, because we treat our temple as if it was a garbage can. We do anything, whatever it is. Give me those Doritos. Give me that pop. That's a tire on the ground. Give me that. So we gotta really think about what we place in our temples. It's easier said than done, but it's funny how a medical doctor can diagnose one of us with something, and immediately, like that, we'll change our eating lifestyle. Like in a snap of a finger. I've seen it so many times. I've seen it, too many times, that is not even funny. So, people, we really got to be more conscious about what we place in our temples. I suggest drinking plenty of water, whether it be distilled, alkaline, just plenty of clear fluids, fruit juices. Sometimes I do a lot of, I'll mix them up. I'll do my veggies, I'll do my fruits, mix them up, drink it. It's just different ways on how I do it myself. Sometimes I still, kind of eat a few things that maybe I shouldn't eat, but I'm not perfect, but I do the best I can. And at the end of the day, I feel like I do good, as far as how I used to do years ago. Because of course we're not perfect. It's just a discipline, as to what we place in our body. Your battery will last longer. How you, depending on how you eat, so people try to eat properly, drink plenty of water, get plenty of rest, exercise. This video was just to kind of like, uplift your awareness in regards to what's on these labels and what you're actually eating, So, another thing I would suggest this as well. Detox, like an herbal detox. Like a good herbal detox before you switch over your eating lifestyle. That way you can get all of the impurities and toxins out of your system, your bloodstream, before you start to try to eat properly. You know, because it just wouldn't really make sense to, if you clogged up and you've been eating bullshit your whole life and just, you know, try to start eating properly, like on top of, I mean, of course it would help, but if you're not cleaning your system out of your bowel, out of your colon, out of your intestines, you know. So at the end of the day, you know, it's a discipline. It's not just the easiest thing on earth, you know, especially, you know, when you first start. But once you get at it, you know, it is what it is. And like I said, this is just all, you know, my opinions in regards to, you know, what you should eat. Because, you know, somebody else may say, hey, it's nothing wrong with eating Doritos. There's nothing wrong with eating pork rinds. There's nothing wrong with eating a can of salt. You know, so, I mean, it is what it is, people. We should be grown adults now, and we should be able to think for ourselves and think what matters, okay? Now, I'm going to look up another word. I'm going to look up genetic engineering, and I'll be cutting the video short. And then what we'll do is I'll probably come back in the near future and do like a part 2 or something. All right. Genetic engineering. All right. For non-technical introduction to the topic, see Introduction to Genetics. Now check this out, people. Genetic engineering, also called genetic modification, is the direct manipulation of an organism's genome using biotechnology. It is a set of technologies used to change the genetic makeup of cells, including the transfer of genes within the across species boundaries to produce improved or novel organisms. New DNA may be inserted in the host of a genome by first isolating and copying the genetic material of interest using molecular cloning methods to generate a DNA sequence, or by synthesizing the DNA and then inserting this construct into the host organism. All right. Now, people, that makes me think about this. Now, you heard the words DNA, splicing, cloning, right? Now, you know, most of our people in our nation love chicken, right? Like, they love chicken. Now, think about it. You have KFC or Kentucky Fried Chicken. You have grocery stores that's full of chicken. You have Church's Chicken, which is another food chicken chain restaurant. You have Gus's Fried Chicken. Now, I'm naming things that's kind of like in my territory. In other words, you have fried chicken spots all over the country, right? You have grocery stores that sell chicken all over the country, right? But for some reason, you don't see chickens walking around. Well, maybe because some people may say, well, you're killing them all. But if we have that many chickens, why don't you see chickens just walking around on the street like regular birds? Maybe because they're cloning them, right? Think about it. Just really think about it. You see pigeons, which some people call flying rats. You see mockingbirds, bluebirds, cardinals, hummingbirds. You see birds, right? But you don't see chickens walking around everywhere. Now, if you have chickens in abundance, like we do in this nation, in every single grocery store, every restaurant, where are all these chickens? We should see chickens just chilling, just walking down the street, you know, giving dap, you know, just chilling, just walk. I mean, everywhere you should see like a huge amount of chickens, right? But you don't see chickens. So that's just me putting it on your mind to let you know that, hey, the cloning thing is real, okay? So just letting y'all be aware of that, all right? Peace and love. This is Moreno Bey. I'm going to try to come with a part 2 with this and finish it up in the near future. Until then, peace and love.
But that GMO goodness isn't just about corn. There's rice, soybeans, cotton, alfalfa, soybeans, papaya, soybeans, oilseed rape. Is that all? Not on your life. GM is the gift that keeps on giving. The possibilities are endless. Just imagine you're a limey Brit trying to grow strawberries in the frozen wastes of Scotland land. Well, in the future, why not insert a gene from a codfish who's built to thrive in the icy North Atlantic? Result, frost-resistant strawberries. Wow, I want it now. The effects of GMO food on humans aren't as tried and tested as we'd like, but there are much more important things that need our attention right away. The population is exploding. How will we feed everyone? We need food security, and we need it now. But just because tests on rats eating genetically modified potatoes showed them growing slower after 2 or 3 generations and developing fertility problems, and some organ development issues, some goody two-shoes scientists and whiny campaigners worry that that might happen to humans too. Well, let's wait and see. In the meantime, the biotech companies can rake in the profits that will fund more exciting GMO experiments. We love farms. We love them so much, we want them all. We want to persuade every potential partner farmer to forget all about that silly organic farming and get with us on the GMO bandwagon. Whenever we change the natural gene sequence of any plant, we get a patent ASAP. It's our invention after all. Hey, the new GMO plants are our intellectual property. We aim to achieve total control of the seed. Got an organic farm nearby? Great! Soon everything you grow will be enhanced by the altered genes from our GM crops. Isn't nature wonderful? And what better way to spread the GMO goodness around than the wind? Accidental cross-pollination isn't our problem, and it's no excuse for profit loss. And once our genes get into your crops belong to us. Yep, well, it's our technology. If you're going to use it, you've got to pay. We don't care how it got there. When we own the food, we will own life. So those naughty farmers better not save their seeds for next year's crop. If they do, we'll know. We'll tie up farmers for years in the courts. Farmers will just have to buy more seeds next year, and more pesticides too. It's win-win all around. If you want to fight us, we might just take your farm as a settlement. But we're human. Just. Thanks, Mother Nature, but we'll take it from here. But we're doing all this for you, Johnny. Don't forget that. And if it's all too much for you to take in, don't worry. We've got it all figured out. By the time you're a teenager, it'll be GMO a go-go. We just need to make sure that our army of lobbyists keep GMO labeling off any products. Why spoil consumers with unnecessary choices after all? And if old Farmer Joe decides to fight us, we have a ready-made network waiting to take care of him. Can you say revolving door? Yep. Some judges used to be lawyers who worked for us, and we make sure that they take care of business. And legislation? No problem either. Former GM industry lawyers also work for the food regulation bodies. And we have enough cash in our pockets to lobby any issues all the way to Saturn and back. Some people still think government food regulatory bodies are serving their needs. Hilarious. We are making a killing in India. Literally, hundreds of thousands of farmers have been organically recycled to dodge debts that they owe us. BT cotton doesn't always give strong yields, and bollworm, cotton's main pest, seems to be gaining resistance to our transgenic BT cotton. This can mean bad crops and no revenue for some. We say, once you're in, you're in. However, under Indian law, any debts die with the farmers, so farmers' suicides stop debts being passed on to any remaining family. But I'm confident that we can lobby that issue too. when we own all of the cotton varieties, and we will, suicides will be of little concern because we'll be the only cottonseed suppliers. Duh! Concerns have been raised in Europe over problems with GMO pig feed causing sterilization and growth problems, but we have years of marketing left before that's proved, and we'll find a way to work with the Danish pig farmers banging that drum. So eat up your veggies, Johnny. There's going to be plenty for everyone for the right price.